Hey, Cole High School. This is Mr. Antofer. I teach history in 11th grade. And today, guys, we're going to talk about some current events in our morning meeting. And so, you guys are going to be doing this with your advisory. And I'm just going to show you guys like why I came up with this whole morning meeting. And then just give you guys a little bit of guidance about what to do next. So first thing, I actually went to Grinnell College in Iowa, and this here is an old photo of me. I'm in the far back, and I was part of the newspaper at Grinnell, and I also was part of this podcasting club. As a part of the newspaper and a part of the club, I had a friend in the newspaper whose name was Sarah, and she kept working in newspapers after she graduated. And so now it's been about 12 years that she's been working in papers. And so whenever she posts a story or something like that, a lot of times I'll go and I'll read it and I'll check it out. And just like me, she's a really big fan of comic books. So she does a lot of her journalism as a comic book artist. And so she came out with this comic about a month ago, and it got a lot of attention. A lot of people read it, and it was about grocery store workers during the virus. And so I read it. I thought it was great. And I let Ms. Blanchard know, like, hey, I think we should actually all talk about this because I think it's something that we could all like learn a lot from. And it's something that's really interesting because it's in comic book form. And it's something that is a lot easier to understand and read because it's just in this comic book form. And she's been doing this a really long time and is really pretty good at it. So what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be reading this comic book. You can either read it independently. You can ask if your advisor will read it to your whole advisory during this morning meeting. Or I will actually go and read it. And if your advisor would rather have me read it, I'll read it. And as I'm reading, and as you are reading independently, I want you to think about a few different questions that you guys are going to talk about in the last few minutes of your advisory. So here are the questions. The questions are: what fact from the comic is most surprising to you? Which quote from these grocery store workers that she talked to stands out the most to you? And then what do you think is going to happen with the things the grocery store workers want to keep themselves safe during this time? This comic came out a month ago, and there's been some very new stuff that's happened, especially in the last week. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, and I want you to make a prediction about that. All right, have a good rest of your morning, and I hope you guys have a great discussion about some of the stuff that you guys see in this comic.